I have my eyes set currently near the end of the first week of February. It's looking, yeah, say the dates for you. Between the 8th and the 9th, it seems to be through 8th and 9th, that a low pressure system, which right here, the little L right there is the center of the low pressure system. It's gonna, it's looking like it's gonna bring us some mixed precipitation, and well, with that in mind, that brings the concerns of icing over the roads and stuff. So, we're gonna get right into what's going on with that. Before we get into the storm system itself, I want to go over where this storm system's even coming from, because right now, it's very nice weather we have here in Minnesota. Today I've seen sunshine for once. Actually, there was sunshine yesterday, I think, but it seems pretty rare. And we broke records today of 52 degrees for St. Cloud, so that's pretty that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Got to cut wood today. It's pretty great. So we're gonna go over like where is this coming from? Like why now? Or why are we now gonna get something? So hope you recognize this chart because we're going right over it again. The height anomaly chart again. Reminder shows you where the air is thicker or higher or lower or less thick. So what's going on really is in the southwestern part of the U.S., they're getting a lot of rain. California today has been having quite a lot of heavy rain since there's just a constant barrage of storm systems and cyclones just hitting their coast. Not cyclones like hurricanes, no. These are a different kind of cyclone. But we're gonna talk about one of these cyclones that are gonna push its way into the U.S. and make its way up to us. And right here is where it begins. There's the cyclone. It begins to form right there. And this cyclone right here is going to be responsible for the mixed precipitation that we're going to have on the 8th through possibly the 10th. And you can just see, like, we're going forward in time. Like, right here is the 9th at 6 a.m. right here. If we go forward in time, this is the 10th at 6 a.m. So this cyclone, this upper level cyclone, mind you, remember, this is 5 to 6 kilometers up in the atmosphere. So this cyclone up there is not moving pretty fast. And, well, from what I can gather, it's, for one, the anticyclone, this big blob of high pressure that's giving us this extremely warm weather. Like, this is pretty much right now. It's centered right over Minnesota. And it's just sitting there, just right up in the northeast there. And this cyclone is pretty much sandwiched between this high pressure, which is blocking it from moving further to the east, and there's just this low pressure. I don't know if this is really affecting this as much, but it's pretty much stuck there until this high pressure begins to move away and it's allowed to move, and it actually seems like it later gets absorbed by this cyclone right here and begins to do whatever the heck it wants to do. So that's where this is coming from. A storm system coming all the way from California up to us here in Minnesota. So we'll have a look at this through ECM, WRF, or just ECM, or the European model. Everyone calls it the European model. I just like calling it by its acronym there, ECM. So we're going to go forward in time. If you remember from the last video, you can see this whole storm system just coming at us, but just getting pushed away from Minnesota because of that high pressure area this right here pushes everything away. Go for the tame. Tame? Yeah, tame. We're going to the 8th here. Now, here it is. At 12 a.m. of the 8th. 6 a.m. of the 8th of February. You can see it's right there. Quite a few blobs here. I don't know what that's about, but take it as like it's raining of some sort. I don't think you'd probably see like a very concentrated little ball of rain at like, what is that? That seems to be like somewhere near like 0.1 inches per hour, all contained in that one blob. But take it as like it's raining. There's 6 p. Wait, no. Yeah. 6 p.m. of the 8th. Seems to be still raining for ECM or if. And then this is the 6 a.m. and there can begin to see some mix colors right there. So there's like a little, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little pink in there, and there's some blue. So there's obviously some mixed precipitation going on here. And that's not something you want to see right there. If we go right here, here's that same frame on the 6 a.m. on the 9th there. If we go to temperature here, we can see a cold front right here just making its way through, and here's the freezing part of it. If we go ahead to 12 p.m. on the 9th, ECM Worth has it moved further into central Minnesota. Here has Stearns County under freezing right here. So this is possibly where we could see some icing right now. Like, pretty good chunk of Minnesota could have the threat of ice. But this could look entirely different. We're only looking at ECM's point of view. If we go to GFS here, we go forward in time. There's that storm system getting pushed away. There's this same low pressure system, but the difference between one big difference between this from GFS's point of view to ECM is GFS has this slowed down a lot more and lingering more than ECM does. If you notice, it's kind of slow right there, but if we go to ECM, it's moving considerably a lot faster than what GFS has modeled right there. But regardless, this is what GFS has. First initial wave of rain right there. Then some mixing begins to happen right here with some snow and rain. And then at some point, it seems snow would dominate after. Right here is the 6 a.m. on the 10th of February. Doesn't seem much going on. Let's prove that. Let's open this right here. We can tell something's going on. Something may still be going on, judging by this sounding, maybe. But both of them, GFS and ECM, both agree that something like this will happen. And they both agree on the position. They both say right here, pretty much cutting through central Minnesota right there. So I got pretty high confidence about this. We may certainly see this. After all, we're bound to see something. Because we aren't going to have this very warm and pretty pleasant weather forever. At some point, this big blob of high pressure has got to go away. And by nature, it's got to go away. So that's exactly what it's going to do. And gives the opportunity for the atmosphere to throw a little rain at us. Or snow. Whatever it decides to do. Seems it wants to do both at the same time. If we look here in this static image, this is 12 p.m. for the 9th. And here's this. There's some little mixing going on right here. I'm sure we can prove it right here. Yep. 1 kilometer up the atmosphere begins to... any ice that begins to fall begins to melt. So there's a little mixing going on here. Some melts, some doesn't. So there's like a mix between snow and rain right there. Because some melts, some doesn't. That's how that is. If we go to temperature here, notice pretty big difference to what ECM has. Let me get the times right. Yeah, they're the right times. So here's GFS, here's ECM. Very, very different forecast of what the surface temperatures will look like. So at this point, we can't be certain if it will freeze for central Minnesota, but right here it has it modeled in the northern parts of the state. It shows them like getting a little too close to freezing right there. So we are pretty far in the future. This is 216 hours in, and the 8th is a week away. So we'll let this cook. Let it gain some seasoning a bit so we can tell exactly what is, or have a better idea of what's going to happen, and if it truly will have icy conditions like ECM has modeled here. So it's pretty much at this rate, it's one or the other, so we'll have to see what happens. So now you know what we're gonna probably be seeing near the 8th. So be prepared for that if this turns out to be a icing event. So get ready for that. Anyways, that's all I have to say. See ya.